Will UFL run on the Steam Deck? As you guys have probably seen, UFL is on the PC, especially Steam. And it got me thinking about the possibilities of UFL running on the Steam Deck. As you already have seen, the game has been launched on console, free to play for PlayStation and Xbox. And in September, they released the wishlist for PC. And it got me thinking recently, because I play a lot of my games, story mode games, any games that you could think of, I mainly play them on my Steam Deck. And I have also played a rival game on the Steam Deck, and that rival game is eFootball. And honestly, it works like a charm. The way it feels, obviously, in my hands on the Steam Deck, the processing, the gameplay, it feels very smooth. And it got me thinking, will UFL be able to run on the Steam Deck? There's multiple questions to think about, and I hope UFL can come out and basically address it, because we haven't actually had an open beta for PC yet. We don't actually know how good or bad the game is optimized for PC. Especially with every PC release, there also comes a Steam Deck verification badge, and there could be, obviously, it could be green as in fully verified, it could be orange where some text can't be readable, or you have to download something else to play the game, or download a different launcher to load up the game. Similar to Cyberpunk, similar to Assassin's Creed with Ubisoft on the Steam Deck, if you have played those games, of course. But if you haven't, then you're probably not aware of how that works. But obviously it can be completely question mark or outright not allowed or not verified for the game, because Steam and Valve don't actually know how well or how bad the optimization is for the Steam Deck. And it also got me thinking about another point. Call the optimization, if it's A1, it will probably most likely be on the Steam Deck. But if it isn't, there's probably one reason, and that one reason is probably the anti-cheat, because it's still early doors and how PC will look like compared to console, and the gameplay and what it feels like. We don't actually know how UFL will be on the PC. There could be an anti-cheat similar to EA's, it could be an anti-cheat similar to Konami and PES, but we don't know, because eFootball is a completely different game to obviously FC25, and UFL is in the mix of things. And I hope the developers, if they are watching this video, fingers crossed, please pray that the Steam Deck is compatible with UFL, because if it is, I'll be playing it more often than actually EAFC and PES or eFootball, because UFL is a free-to-play game for one. For two, I'm not a really big fan or advocate for eFootball, even though I used to play it like 2 years ago. 2 years later, it's not the same game as I used to play, and it feels completely different, and I'm not a big fan of the changes that they've made. And three, EAFC 25, especially on PC, you have to have an anti-cheat. Without an anti-cheat, you cannot run the game, simply. And Steam Deck actually isn't compatible with the game because of the anti-cheat, and it affects the Linux base of the software and whatnot. Don't know too much of that stuff. I just know well enough it will not work unless you have a Windows device or Windows operating system. So I've seen on Reddit pages and inquiries about UFL being on Steam Deck, and a lot of people are saying the same thing about the optimization, the anti-cheat. We don't actually know when a release date is, but obviously, if you haven't seen my last video about UFL PC edition and all the information there, the open beta will be before the release date of PC of UFL, which will be in the first quarter of 2025, which is awesome. But this is still up in the air, and whether UFL will be able to run on the Steam Deck. From what I'm seeing, it looks like it can and it will be able to. The only main question is the anti-cheat. On the other side, when it comes to obviously UFL, when it comes to the Steam Deck compatibility, eFootball, Valve's testing has indicated that eFootball is playable. Playable meaning the orange indicator, which is obviously not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing at all, because if you look at what the actual playable ticks are, the first one is the game launcher setup tool may require the touchscreen or virtual keyboard or have difficulty to read the text. The second one is entering some text requires manual involving the on-screen keyboard. The third one is some in-game text is small and may be difficult to read. And the final fourth one is this game requires manual configuration for graphics to perform well on the Steam Deck. So if UFL and the developers seen these four main issues on the Steam Deck compatibility side, the game will be verified. It will be green, and I believe it will also be one of the big games that PC players will play, because one, we've been dying for a new football game other than EA and eFootball. We've been wanting a game for so long to level with EA and Konami. And the third one is I will be playing this game more often than usual, because wherever I go, I take my Steam Deck. All I need is Wi-Fi and 4G and data. I will be playing this game more often than not. I'll be trying to figure out things that the gameplay has and whatnot to have, like, to make the most out of this game, because honestly, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited. And if this Steam Deck compatibility is playable or is verified for this game, best believe UFL, you're going to have a percentage of increase of players that will play on the Steam Deck, and that will have an increase of the overall data on Steam for PC gamers. So I don't know if you're watching this video, UFL, or the developers at UFL, but it will be amazing to see this game on the Steam Deck. Coming from obviously someone that's wanting to play FIFA and not wanting to download Windows and all these other plugins to play simply a game that I play on my PC on my Steam Deck. If you guys simply look at what eFootball have done, look at what EA have done, and just come up with your own recipe of code and development for the Steam Deck, then mate, you guys are insane. It's a big if though. And if you go back to my point about a certain game not being able to play on the Steam Deck because of me having to download Windows, that game is EAFC. That game is EFC 25. I literally play it every day. And the reason why I can't play it portably is because of the anti-cheat. And the reason why the anti-cheat is so severe for the Steam Deck is because Linux doesn't like it. EA simply have created this anti-cheat that simply doesn't allow Linux to explore and, let people play on the Steam Deck. So people have to download Windows on their Steam Deck to actually play the game. This goes for majority of the recent titles for EA, like F124, like FC25, even FC24 had it, and it's just bizarre. And I'm that type of gamer that literally just wants to download and play. Even though if it's playable on my Steam Deck, I will download it and have fun, because I know nothing will interfere with the game. All I have to do is download it and enjoy it. So like I mentioned many times in this video, developers, strikers and UFL come together and make something happen for the Steam Deck, because they're going to be missing out on a percentage of players on the Steam Deck. I literally take this everywhere with me, and I will be playing this more often than EAFC, because it's a new game and I want to get my hands stuck in, get my hands dirty and have fun. Because comment down below your opinions on whether or not UFL should be on the Steam Deck. Because if it should, then honestly, it will be a game changer. Not only for me, but for many people. So yeah, so get all your comments and all your opinions down below. Let's get a debate going down below in the comment section. It's been your boy, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care and peace.